Hello, 3B students. I hope you are doing well despite the lockdown situation. I'm so sorry that the situation has gotten this bad, and I hope that you are still able to have a nice Khmer New Year with your families. We will talk more about the lockdown situation and how you're all doing at our Zoom session this week. But right now, I will be teaching you your video lecture on informal written communication. So before Khmer New Year, you learned about formal written communication and what that means, and how to write it. And this time I'll be teaching you about informal communication. So by the end of the lesson, you'll be able to understand when we use informal written communication, identify and use like common phrases and words and structures that we use in informal written communication. And also, you'll be able to better understand the difference between formal and informal written communication and be able to kind of change a formal message into an informal message that's about the same topic, okay? Woo, fun! Let's first quickly review formal written communication. So, to write formally, we write in letters and emails. We write formally when we don't know the person that we're writing to, usually. Teachers and professors, our boss, or people who just have more power than us. When we write formally, when we're writing about a job or university, so about information or applying, to apologize to someone, to say we're sorry, to an organization or like a job or something more serious, to make a complaint about something, about a policy, about a restaurant service, something else. And it has a common structure, formal letters and emails. So we have a formal greeting, we say dear, and then the formal title, so Mr., Mrs., Doctor, Professor, etc. Introduction, in which you briefly, you say why you're writing and how you got their contact info. Main body, in which is when you give more details about why you're writing and why it's relevant or important. Conclusion is when you ask a question of the person, so what they can do for you. And ending, make sure you thank the person for their time, for reading your message. And then a formal goodbye. So usually you say sincerely and then your full name. Some common phrases that you use in formal written communication, and do not use contractions. So like I'm, your, we've, make sure you write I am, we have, write those out. And do not use informal slang words like okay, yeah. Okay, so now we understand formal written communication. What about informal? So we use informal written communication when we're writing with people whom we know well. So it could be friends or family members, colleagues if we're friendly with them. If we're sharing a story or writing a personal blog just about like personal experiences that we've had or something, we don't have to be very formal there. If we're writing dialogues or conversations, so usually dialogues and combos are pretty informal if we're writing like a play or something. Sometimes we can write informally to people who are our age, even if we don't know the people, but if they're our age, sometimes it's okay to write informally. If we're writing to someone who goes to our school or our university, or even someone who at our work, if they are about your age, sometimes it's okay to write informally because they don't have more power than you, they're not more special, so it's okay to be informal. So you kind of have to decide if it's a person who's your age but they work at a company or an organization that you want to work for, or they go to university that you want to go to, it might be better to start writing formally, and then they probably will write informally back to you. But an important tip is that if you're not sure if you should write formally or informally, you should start formal. So write your first message to the person in a formal way, and then the other person will tell you if you can write informally, or if they write in an informal style back, then you know it's okay to write an informal style moving forward. So what does informal written communication look like? So letters and emails can also be informal, so they can be formal or informal. So we have letters, emails, but also text messages and Facebook messages all count as informal communication, or can be informal. So the structure of informal communication messages usually varies a lot, and there's not much structure actually to it. It's very informal. But there is a specific order of ideas that's common in informal communication. So I'll go over that with you, but just know that it can change a lot. It's much more flexible. Usually do an informal greeting like hi, hello, hey, and then the person's first name. Ask questions about the person's life or ask how they're doing. Say you hope they're doing well because you probably know about their lives and who they are. Say why you're writing, so the main reason. If you want to, you can give more details about what you want to talk about, why you're writing. Don't need formal paragraphs here, but make sure you space out your ideas so that the message isn't just too long. Make sure it's easier to read. You can express your own opinions and feelings in informal communication. So in formal communication, it's better to not express your opinions and feelings like, oh, I feel like this, or I think this. In informal, it's good to share your opinions and feelings because you're just talking with someone you know, so it's okay. And then ask a question, so maybe ask if you want them to do something for you, or if you want them to tell you what they think about something. You want to ask them, make sure they know what you want. And then an informal goodbye, like love, or talk soon, and then your first name. Just put your first name, you don't have to put your last name too, because they probably know who you are. So addressing people informally, so when we're saying hello, we usually say hi, hey, hello, howdy, plus the person's first name. So either say their first name, you can say hey guys if it's a group of people. Guy in English means like a man or a male, but we also use guys for like a group of people, whether it's boys, girls, it doesn't matter. You can just say like hey guys. You can say hey girls too if you want. Hey everyone if it's a big group of people. Hi y'all. Y'all is you and plus all, y'all. It's not grammatically correct, so don't use that informal. Or you can also just say hi, hey, hello, and then start your message. You don't have to say the person's first name. You can just be more informal because you already know who they are. For people we love or we're close to, we can say hey you, hi honey, hi love, hi babe. Those are words we use for people we love or we feel very close with. We can also use formal titles in informal messages. So if you're writing with a professor, but you know the professor very well and the professor is okay with you writing informally, you can still call them Professor Smith, but you can write informally, like hi, hope you're well, or something like that. So goodbyes, usually you can say like thank you, thanks, talk soon, see you soon. You can say also miss you, like express how you feel or express your desire to see the person again. That's okay. Say that. Sending love, XOXO, talk to you later. So those are all good for goodbyes. Some common words and phrases, so I won't read all of these, but these are some common ones. So asking, how are you? You can say like, what's up? How are you? What's going on? How is so-and-so doing? And then, saying like, let me know what you think, or can't wait to hear from you. Those are all very common in informal communication. So we have three transition words here that you can use in informal. So we have so, but, and anyway. So you guys have learned as a conjunction to show result. So like say, I had a long day at school, so I'm really tired, right? So it shows the result of something. Exceptions are but. So but is same as although. So it shows a contrast between two things. Like, I want to go to the store, but I don't have any money left to pay for anything, right? Anyway is to introduce like a new idea, like, yeah, I'm really tired and I'll have to do a lot of homework tomorrow. Anyway, what do you want to do today, right? So it kind of shifts the conversation. It's a different topic. And some tips is you can use contractions. So in these words and expressions, like what's up, what's going on, I'm sorry, right? You can use contractions, it's okay. And you can also, don't use fancy words. You don't have to use fancy words like I appreciate or all my best. And you can also use exclamation points to show excitement. Like, can't wait to hear from you, exclamation point. That's good for informal communication. So here's an example of an informal letter that has all the different parts of an informal message that I taught you guys. So here we have, hi Susan, don't say dear, just say hi, first name, ask how are things going in New York, show them that you know about their lives and what's going on. Hope so, we miss you. Then talk about what you want to talk about. I'm working on this cool project. It's for photography. I want to submit to a contest. It's about pets and their owners. I'm really excited, right? So here you can express your opinions and your feelings, right? And then you say, you know, what do you want? What's the question that you have? What do you want from the person? You can say, I'm coming to New York. I'm thinking, could I come see you and we can have a photo shoot? No pressure, but it would be great to see you. Let me know what you think, is to tell me, I hope to see you soon, is express, you know, that you want to see the person, and say sending love and then just your first name, right? So this is an example. It has all the elements of an informal letter or a message. This is also an example of an informal email that's based on the same topic as the formal letter that you guys learned in the last video lecture. So this is a formal letter to remind you that Gianna is writing to someone at a school to ask about an English program. So this is very formal, but this is an informal version of the same topic, right? So she's writing to Gianna, she's writing just to her friend Steve to tell him about the English program, but it's a very different, it's informal because it's just her friend. She's writing to, you know, just to tell him about something. She's excited, and she wants to hear from him. She hopes she can see him this summer. So here, I would ask you to pause the video and just try to look at the differences between this formal letter that Gianna's writing to about the English program and the informal email that she's writing to her friend about the same topic, right? So you can see the differences there. And I want you guys to practice, so this is a good way to review the differences between informal and formal communication. So I want you to review the formal letter of complaint that you read from the last presentation. So that's the one here. This person's writing a complaint about bad service they had at a restaurant. And I want you to remember what's the main purpose of the letter and why is the author writing. And then I want you to try to write an informal email about the same topic. So you're writing to your friend to tell them about your experience at the restaurant. And here it's very different because you're not writing to the restaurant. You're not trying to get the restaurant to do something that you want. You're just writing to your friend to talk to them about, you know, how bad the service was at the restaurant, right? So you can be a lot more free, more flexible. You can write kind of whatever you want when you're writing to your friends and family. It's informal writing, right? So this should be good practice for you to apply your knowledge of the difference between formal and informal communication, right, about the same topic. And so that's all I have for you today. Please write down and ask any questions that you have at our Zoom session this week. And also, if you have any questions, you can ask them on Telegram. And please continue to stay healthy and safe. We miss you all very much at Prickly-up, and hope you're holding up okay in the lockdown. And we'll talk more about that at our Zoom session, okay? We will get through this together, okay? All right, miss you all. Goodbye.